conference, and as fractured as it is, and let me tell you, Jake, there's some deep wounds right now. There's some hurt feelings. There's some angry people. And
I know, but you know what? None of us out here care. Really,
I know.
honest.
Well,
like, it's just like, get over it. We see Nancy Mace. One of your members blocked Nancy Mace, and then Nancy Mace made a kitty cat, a pussy cat more aptly, emoji at him. It's just like, seriously, this is like high school, but like we need, like there's legislation and there's, like there are literally Americans being killed abroad, and we need this to work.
Yeah, that's kind of offensive to high school people because it's.
All right. First of all, Jake Tapper doesn't care about legislation. Second of all, yes, they're talking about representatives tweeting emojis at each other. Let's break this down. Guys, there's something more going on here. There has to be. If not, God bless and good luck. The debt ceiling. All I remember from last summer, from June, is Janet Yellen saying, look, we're running out of money. In a few days, we need to raise the debt ceiling. It's going to be really bad. And everybody's going to end up on the street, and there's going to be death. All right? What I see, and a lot of other people see, and this is, in my opinion, where the next generation is actually starting to wake up, is that your government here has no problem pulling out $150 billion to fund wars abroad when there is so much that money could be used for in the United States. Pick a subject, all right? I'm almost asking myself here, are the Republicans stalling because they want to show that, doesn't matter if the debt ceiling is raised, doesn't matter if any aid is sent abroad, it won't matter. Okay? Ukraine, Russia, like, what's the plan? Are we just going to keep funding 100 billions at a time? Like, I bet you there's no difference. Okay, so what's actually going on? I mean, you can post in the chat, restaurant cart, all you want. I'm just saying, at this point, it's getting beyond odd. And, I'm seeing more and more and more people kind of be wondering the same. What are your thoughts? Because at this point, how have they not picked a guy to be speaker or a lady? It just seems really odd. But the world is waiting on aid. We had a really fun week. I enjoyed being on Voice. Now, I've cleaned up my SPX chart a little bit. I've left my dark pool levels there to the upside. This one here is the trend line from Day of Days here, last year's October, March low. And now we've breached it. Okay, now we breached it before this month. We were under 3 days and popped up. Now we got our first full day underneath. This trend line is not really a trend. We can take that off. That's the top of coming down here. This is SPX, by the way. And then we got a bottom. Let's see, can we connect this anywhere? That'd be kind of nice to see. Maybe right there. All right. Can we get down to here? Well, yes, we can. In fact, we can. It is possible. This is that 412 SPY area that we spent all of April and some of May filling out, and even back in February. This is a huge level. As you can see, you can pull up any chart and put the volume shelf indicator on, and you will see that this is in fact the biggest. Will the market get through here? I have a really hard time seeing that this is just gonna knife through here. I mean, seriously. But as you can see, they are protecting this gap very well. It was a good setup for the inverted head and shoulders. Then we got the two cups. We're still tracking price wise, and then we broke down. Now, What does this remind me of? Monday green, Tuesday green, 3-day sell. This is very reminiscent of 2020 and 2021 OPEX weeks. And I've said it a few times this week that I think that the low comes either late Monday or Tuesday. Now, Todd, and I'm stoked Todd is back on the train, was nice enough to take our sports almanac again. Which, what do you mean if you're new? What's the sports almanac? Well, it is this is particular seasonal chart. We played all of May and June, and it tracked all the way until here really well, and it was a good thing to have. Now, as we've been selling now for 3 days, we're somewhere here. Todd was nice enough to grid this. My timing model also shows a low either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because right now everybody's saying that the world is coming to an end probably on, Twitter. We have a full moon here in a week, okay? This week, you know that I always play the run-up into the full moon because it's worked for a long time. And that would kind of coincide with this. Then we start a leg up, although it's going to be choppy and not very volatile. But we got volatility right now, if this is going to track. But again, it kind of matches me. This is my favorite day of the year. Why? Because I'll be getting 5 hours more sleep per week. Can't wait. Anyways, I'm looking for this. Why? Because again, post OPEX, especially if we're playing the same algo that we've now clearly played this week, the bottom should come in a few days. So Monday, I'm probably going to just chill. But I'll be watching 2 stocks in particular. We'll get to that. We have no huge divergence here yet. See here, this is kind of giving it out. Nothing yet. And the dark pool does say the same. And we got the TTM curling down. We got the Stow curling down. This needs to bottom out. We got the MACD crossing to the downside. This is going to need a few days unless we get a huge spike on Monday. Unless we get a limit up on Monday because of some event, I'd have to give this a few days. This catalyst of the Speaker of the House is very interesting. It's starting to smell like a stall job. Why are the Democrats not calling the Republicans out? Because he would call them out regarding all the aid that's being laundered and that everything will be fine without, the debt ceiling, since, clearly we can fund anything, not stuff that matters like, families and people who are struggling in infrastructure and other necessities, but in anything foreign goes. Now, the 9MA is doing this, coming down here. It needs to bottom out. The 21, it's still above it, so we could get like a tap technically and a reject. So that is still open. Now, we have a gap here. We don't have any gaps here below. I don't think that these start filling anytime soon. If they do, then the market and the United States is in some real serious trouble. Okay, we're also on the daily. I just want to showcase to you that while we were up here, I was hoping that we were going to build a floor, but we're building a ceiling and we're rejected from it. We're coming down here to a double bottom, and this is pretty well protected. So I'll be looking to buy the dip here. Okay, can even go a little bit lower. What's more exciting though is let me pull these down so I can get these indicators up for you. And I'm also going to be experimenting with a few cool new ones. I'll bring them up in the full moon circle on Tuesday for you guys. Is it possible to go down a little shy of 412? Yes, it is. That's gonna be a really red day, like a big red candle. Okay, I do think that we need some stabilization and relief. But nevertheless, the most important, the 200 daily moving average. Now, we closed below it on SPX. Okay, I'll bring you to QQQ. I just want to showcase that in March we spent 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 days, and then we came down under it a few times below it, and then obviously what happened? Well, we did this and continued up, and boom, Bank of Japan right there. Okay, so I'm not worried here. I'm chilling. We got the 50 coming down, and we got the 89 cruising like that. Okay, could this be a ugly W thingy? Boom, 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 come up here? Yes, absolutely. We also need to recapture this level for the bottom to be in. Same thing last time. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at as far as SPX. Now, with QQQ, which is NQ obviously, we are in a kind of, excuse me, different situation because we have not, and I repeat, we're nowhere near close to 200. We haven't even double bottom. You all remember the absolutely insane tech rally. Now, if we zoom out and we squint, this whole setup is still tracking. So I would not, look, most of you have traded this market down here. Some of you have traded this market, like myself, back down here. Okay? So when I see Twitter talking about, oh my God, the market's crashing, we're gonna have a Black Monday, and all this stuff, I feel the duty to point out that they are full of shit. Can we have a pullback? Yeah, we could even pull back to here. I don't think that's gonna happen. We're still tracking on for a center rally. Now, I keep saying that. What could come in the way of that? This uncontrollably limiting up. This is the only thing that is different in this market, is this 10-year yield. Because it's going up, and it's going up, and it's going up, and it's not at 2.9 anymore. Like in the good old days. It is way, way freaking higher. And I don't know, but I do have to point out this, that it came down today from 5%. Here, I'll show it to you. Does it have a nice bullish setup? Not really. It came down. And market risk came down from 330 to 324. Simultaneously as the VIX was cruising higher, but the Dixie was flat. And that's where this OPEX fuckery comes in, because they're switching everything up. What's a good example of it? Well, here's a prime example. You take, and again, I had to reload my trading view, so all my charts are kind of all over the place as far as the tickers. Here's my point. You have a situation where you have a head and shoulders on NVIDIA, and for these head and shoulders to play out perfectly, we need to come a little lower. Can it do that? Yes, it can. Does that mean that we can't play pumps on it? No, it does not. Where are we? Here. for this to play out, it needs to come down to here. Does it have to? No, it can also just do a double bottom. But it lost this little weird trend line today. You take all this money, where do you stick it? Well, clearly they stuck it, some of it, right here. I mean, come on. What is Netflix doing at 400? Good earnings? I wouldn't say it was awesome. Okay. Apple. Okay. I have marked this, and you should mark it too, 171. If it goes below 171, it's going to 167. You can short that, or you can wait to buy calls here. If it loses this level, it doesn't have to lose it. Okay. Now, can I point something out to you? That's why you're here, right? Okay, take a good look at QQQ. Okay. And yes, I'll clean this up a little bit for your viewing pleasure. So you come down to the lower of the demand zone. Don't mind me cleaning up some old trend lines I'll do absolutely nothing with. All right, see that? Almost round trip. Now look at Google. It's got earnings next week. Okay, it's missing this traction right there. Microsoft. Same thing. Okay, so is all of this Nvidia? Could be. Do these still need to track to the downside, or are they going to hold 21 MA right there? That is something we need to be watching next week. And obviously, we have earnings next week. Tuesday, both of them. Credit cards have been doing bad. We got RTX also on Tuesday. Monday, nothing really. I'll most likely be checking the weekly range, monitoring some stuff, see if dark pool is starting to come in, because it hasn't yet. That's why I think maybe the vote next week, but we also have pre-market on Thursday, and we'll go over that. We've got the ECB rate hike decision. Now, the biggest thing that stands out in my, investigation here is that Apple and Amazon, for the longest time that I can remember, have reported on the same day, and they have moved up Amazon by a week. That is interesting. Okay, remember last time Apple absolutely ate shit, and they pumped Amazon to 140, and it was up there for days. Okay, now let's just revisit, because this is gonna be very important. So last time we had earnings on Amazon, it had that crazy ass move. Now it's sold off hard. Do you think that Amazon's business has gone down? Probably not, right? Is it going to be one of the strongest names into the end of the year? I think so. It did great post-Christmas last year. Okay. I think that it is very interesting. Did it do? But remember, last year was not a very good year. But this year, we're still way above this. If we can get a double bottom here into earnings, I'm going to play upside. So please remind me, okay? I'll be looking at the flow. Remember last time we nailed Google's ER based upon Microsoft's different back of the house setup here. I'll also be looking at Boeing. because Doug and I played the Boeing delivery numbers and got this nice pump, right? And then it's just been crapping out. It's got earnings too. Last earnings was massive and it's basically sold off. So like, how much worse has the company done? Okay, and they also make stuff that they use in wars, so could be quite high commodity, if you know what I mean. Now, another one that would have been great to short and did go to the gap and more was Tesla. Was the trend line? Gotta remember to respect the trend lines. All right. It did go and fill that 220 gap and lower. How low can it go? Well, it can do a lot of things. Okay, obviously they're gonna probably drill it until the Cybertruck comes out. If it holds here, great. We have a ghost candle on it. I'll go over that, okay? In a little bit. What I will be watching, obviously, on Monday, I'm in some LMT. Why? Because anything can happen over the weekend. But this thing is dragging out. However, I just want to show this. After hours, there was some interesting action on it. There was also some interesting action on, that is my youngest doing what he does best, being high on life upstairs. I just want to show this. Clearly we have a change of trend. Now, if this would have rejected the daily 21 today and not closed above in this red ass market, it went counter the last few days and it closed above. Okay, so that means that had it just rejected, it would have gone probably down to double bottom. Can it do that still before earnings? Yes, but if it keeps holding above the 21, I am inclined to hold and probably keep some into earnings. Okay, and I mean the STO, the MACD, the TTM are all looking beautiful. So this is definitely a name that we're going to be playing to the upside next week. And also, just like Lockheed, after hours you had some interesting action and you had green volume comparatively with the whole day come in pretty strong. So that's where we are with that. Next time I say that the NAMO looks like it needs to go down, like I said here, I was like, oh, it looks like it wants to go down. Yeah, you don't say, indeed. Okay, it is going down, so it might take a few days here with chop for it to go, but we have catalysts and we have the 10-year yield so high that if they smash it, this can just reverse. I would kind of discount today because it was OPEX. Okay. Now let's get to the other exciting stuff besides, you know, earnings, which we already looked at. But let's look a little broader. Here you can see we got Amazon. I don't know why they didn't put it here. Trying to be sneaky here. Or someone messed up, but Apple next week and McDonald's on Monday. Obviously we got this whole week. UPS is going to be interesting. Then we got oil, right? Meta and Boeing and IBM all the same day, the day after. Google and Microsoft, they didn't even list here, so that is super odd. We yet have to see calls come in. That's why I'm going to give this a few days. We do have market flow showing puts, but we got flow on QQQ, that's green, SPX, and SPY. All right, but they are being pretty sneaky here. Bitcoin still holding. As far as the VIX, look, it would make sense for it early in the week to test this trend line. There's March, right? And that's last year's October. Do I expect it to go up to our box? No, I expect max here. if he goes into our box, start buying any calls, okay? Because it's the box, as you can see, once VIX starts messing with the box, it will reject and the market will fly. China, very interesting. This is the daily. Just keeps coming down. It's just been chugging down. They're waiting on something. But as you saw, I showed you QQQ is still above the 200. US 500 is below. One more thing that I again want to talk about. Man, the kids are going nuts. That's funny. Is UPST. Now, a while back we were crying about, oh man, we missed it from 24 and all that. Well, here we are again. That was here when it went, and then retraced and went. UPST, if it comes down here, it's gonna be the craziest shit ever. But look at this. Somebody scoop in here. Keep this one on watch. Once they start playing shitty stocks like Hood and this, we're gonna be playing it. Now, Dark Pool. I will, they're holding SPY steady. This is the 50-minute. Okay. This is a ghost candle. I wouldn't really trust that. They haven't reversed yet. I will see when they start buying this next week across the board, and that's when we are gonna buy. Right now they are repositioning, playing the fear game. Here on QQQ you see a little bit, but we have a QQQ ghost candle here that should hit next week. We still have these that I'm scratching my head at, and then I think Speed Kills posted another ghost candle for SPY in our ghost candle tab that was 2 on SPY 425. It has not showed up here yet. That's the signal. I doubt that. So Monday, Tuesday, expect maybe volatility, expect nothing. We'll see if there's some scalps. As of right now, I think we go up higher end of week. Okay. Now there's a few things happening. Obviously, the ECB rate hike is the biggest one. As far as data, there's not a lot of data for the US. Okay, it's kind of like a fluff piece. Powell is not on this calendar, but on the Fed calendar, he speaks next week as well at some event. But is he going to say more than he said this week? No, so I wouldn't put too much weight on it. We're going to wait for the speaker on the ECB rate hike, and then they can turn on the juice at any point, okay? Or they can turn it down even more, okay? There's a lot of economic stuff. And then obviously November 1st, we are getting, we got FOMC. So let me just pull up the, oh, another thing I wanted to show you guys is this. IWM. IWM lost its October, right? Okay. We're in a range here. It might even come down to here. This is going to hold. It's got a double bottom there. So, are we close to a reversal? I would say so. After today. But anyways. Let me pull up one more thing, which is the lovely Federal Reserve calendar, so we can see here what's going on. And obviously I already mentioned it, but we have a full moon on Friday. We got Powell's whatever on Wednesday when the market closes, and Waller, and on Friday we got bar. So we do have 3 Fed speakers. We got full moon on Friday. So that's the overview. I'm not, I've looked at my timing model again, which, its turn day clearly was down, not up. It was off by a day. It's giving me also, according to this, it's got a minor turn day here. Now, what do we need to reclaim for upside? This red line, 4,265 or 4, okay? And you can always ask me if you're looking at a certain stock, what's going on with the dark pool or flow or this and that, and I can take a look at it and see what's up. As of right now, nothing crazy as far as reversal, QQQ more so than SPY. Oh yeah, let's look at one more thing so we kind of cover all bases here. And that is KRE under 40 again, not very pretty. It's at a really, really big level here. Can go down to here. So we could still see a few days of selling. So I wouldn't, if it reverses Monday, I'd still wait. I wouldn't go all in. I'd keep the scalping. We'll see what's moving. We got earnings this week. It's going to be very important to see how those tech earnings are acting on the back end. Like Google and Microsoft. Last time I remember, Google was through the roof on flow, just like Netflix. Does have some dark pool here. Let's see. All right, guys. With that said, if something crazy happens during the weekend, I'll post about it in the chat. And I will make another video if I see something extra crazy. But in the meantime, enjoy your weekend. Let's ride the train next week. Have some fun with it. I thoroughly enjoyed Thursday. That was an awesome day. And let's see if we get some upside here soon. Otherwise, we're just going to be, shorting pops. But I think that with this miraculously starting to roll over, that cannot be discounted either. So let's see. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Love yourself, love your family, and God bless.